Hi everyone, my name is Marissa, and I always like to start off with saying that I'm so honored to be sharing space with you guys today and for you guys entrusting me with such intimate aspects of your journey. These things can be very life altering and life enhancing, and I don't take this role lightly, okay? I do take it very seriously, but I also like to have fun. I think everything in life that is truly wise has that very delicate combination, okay? So these are soul blueprint readings in terms of your most authentic self, all right? These are general and group readings too, so please extract the nutrients that apply to you. And these are things that, my intention is always to support you guys on your highest destiny, your highest timeline. So even if you're not seeing these things externally, or even if you don't truly feel like you've embodied these yet, tarot should always be confirming to you your innermost intuition, your innermost self, and what you deep down feel like you're here to do, okay? It should never really be telling us anything new per se, but is a tool that just helps encourage us and, if anything, affirm us and affirm our inner experiences to give us our power back, to help us trust ourselves a little bit more. So over time, maybe we're utilizing these tools less and less, but they are tools and they can be great companions along a path that has many twists and turns and many intricacies and layers, etc. Okay, so happy to be sharing this journey with you guys. You have 4 judgment cards to choose from today. Starting over here, this is card number 1, pal number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. If you have a hard time selecting with your intuition, or like me, I just when it comes to pick a card readings, I'm just I would rather just toss a coin. So a random number generator could help. You can just type that in on Google and have it pop up. But whenever you guys are ready, we're going to hop right into these readings. Hey, group number 1, here is your reading. I've already shuffled your judgment card back in, but this was the tarot deck that you guys selected. All right, and I haven't looked at any of your oracle cards yet either. We're going to get into this real time together, okay? So I'll just have you take a deep inhale into your low diaphragm. And when you're ready, release it all. Exhale, drop your shoulders, come into your body. And yeah, let's tuck into this. So what is your most authentic self within this incarnation, pile number 1? First, we have animal guardian, trust your instincts. Next, we have guardian angel, you are not alone. So 2 cards that talk about guardian. So already I feel like you guys are protectors of the planet. You guys are protectors of those beings that maybe don't know how to stick up for themselves. I feel like you guys are warriors. You guys are advocates for equality on this planet. I'm hearing some of you are even vegetarian and vegan. You really care about animals. You really care about the planet. You really care about just your carbon footprint, that kind of thing. You're very conscientious about the mark that you leave on the planet, very caring, all right? And I feel like your most authentic self recognizes the interconnectivity of everything. I'm also just getting this sense that, you have a great telepathic connection with nature and animals in general. And I feel like no matter if you've gone through bouts and periods of feeling like you don't really have friends or whatever, I feel like you've never truly felt like you were alone in this on this journey. You have a very strong connection to your guides, to your angels, your ancestors, and overall, I do get this sense that you are here to kind of be like a protector to other people. You provide this very warm, nurturing energy to those beings around you. I'm kind of getting this vibe that you guys are you're really there for people when they need you. And I feel like a better way of saying that might be there's such a fire within you when you recognize that someone in your soul family or someone you care about is going through some sort of spiritual or even mental debilitation. You really show up for people when in the ways that matter, in the ways that are long-standing, in the ways that go just beyond this lifetime. You are an advocate and a warrior for truth, and you bring a lot of guidance into people's lives. And I think I can feel a lot of people look up to you as someone that they can trust and someone that they can always turn to, and so their overall message of don't deplete your own energies, but I feel like you just have a lot to give. You have a lot to go around, and it's because you've really done a good job, pal number one, at sourcing a connection with your higher self. And the better that connection gets with your higher self, the more energy you're going to have, And of course, there's always going to be, there's the 3 states of energy that's, talked about in like Ayurveda and even the Bhagavad Gita. There's sattvic energy, which is like clear stillness. There's rajasic energy, which is very rambunctious and very active. And then you have tamasic energy, which is just kind of like stagnant. And all of these states, none of them are good or bad. Anything in excess is not healthy, right? And so I feel like even though you go through those different states, regardless of what state of energy you're in, I feel like you're just like always giving in whatever way, even on the days that you rest and you're kind of taking care of yourself. I feel like there's such like, it's almost seen as like a devotion. Like it's not even for yourself. I'm just getting that you're a very selfless group. All right. And even when you are taking space for yourself, like, it's a deeper part of you understands it's because you're going to show up even better for other people. And so, yeah, I feel like you guys might get bursts of that, of having a lot of energy and getting a lot done, like kind of this activated energy. And then you go through these moments of stillness and rest and reprieve. Okay. So what else are we getting? We have the medallion and we have the flame. Yeah. You guys are a spark of light in a very dark place. I feel like the guidance that you provide for other people, I'm getting this hermity type of energy. You provide people a lot of guidance. Your authentic self, this could even be saying that, that guidance that you give, or in some way, you're coaching, you're teaching, and you're getting some sort of reciprocation for that. Like there's recognition here. There's something about recognition here. Your most authentic self like naturally draws in kind of like attention and recognition for the light that you bring to the planet, for the warmth that you bring to other people, for like this spiritual, mental, emotional, even physical, for some of you, nourishment that you bring to other people. I am getting like a natural teacher here. Yeah, you make people feel like they're not alone in this dark and sometimes confusing planet. You definitely make people feel like they have someone that they can trust. They have someone that they can turn to. And you remind people that even in the darkest hours, there's something here to be learned. There's something here to be gained. And I feel like, even in the heaviest of moments, you show people, you help people see the lightness within it. Okay. And so that's something that everything that you're helping other people do, this is something that you've mastered over many incarnations, and something that you're naturally really, really good at. So you're able to see the goodness in these maybe sometimes unfortunate or misfortunate or uncomfortable things. You can't separate shadow from this planet. You can't separate it. You cannot take it out of the human experience. It's always going to be part of it. But there's something here about you are light even within the heaviness, okay? Your authentic self. So yeah, you go with the flow. You go with the flow of things. I feel like you don't stay in anything too long. You're constantly moving. You're consistently upgrading. You're consistently up leveling. I feel like you flow in and out of dynamics quite easily. Like you meet a lot of people, right? I feel like because you're consistently learning from your environment and your circumstances, that you might not stick around something too long. Like, the moon reminds me of those parts of ourselves, like those illusions, those, misperceptions. And it's like, we only need to like stay in a course, so to speak. We only need to stick around in certain dynamics and, even living environments, work environments, in order to extract the nutrients of the lesson or the upgrade that came along with it. And I feel like you kind of extract it very quickly. So it's like, I'm getting this sense of like always on to the next, especially with trust your instincts. I feel like yours is a path that might not make a lot of sense from the outside looking in, but you get it, your life. I'm just getting the sense that you have a life that is very unique. And the way that you make decisions is not the way that maybe a lot of people would make decisions, but it's because you have a very strong foundation of strength, or of faith is what I meant to say there. The black egg, so there's so much here about truth, okay? So you're really tapped into your own authentic soul stream, all right? There's a lot here about your authentic self is speaking truth, not regurgitating, but like regurgitating what you've heard from other teachers, but really taking what makes sense to you and giving it back to the world in some form. There's things here about travel as well, going where you're led, but the black egg is really about just speaking and like not just speaking, but communication, okay? Like Mercurian type of energy. So you guys could have like strong Mercury placements, where you're sharing, like you could even have like Sag energy, ninth house energy, sixth house, Virgoan energy, or third house, and Gemini, energy surrounding your Mercury. Okay. But I am getting this sense that you take very seriously what you're here for. But there is a lightheartedness that I'm sensing around this group as well. Okay. And there is something here about like expression and like writing, or just like blogging or something, poetry even. But there is something here about, taking all of the experiences that you've learned from, and not necessarily even, they weren't even necessarily for your soul to learn, is what I'm hearing, pile number one. But it was like necessary for you to go through certain experiences in order to be like, oh, okay, this is how humanity thinks around this subject. This is how they feel. This is the tendency around this area, around this type of dynamic, right? And so now, how do I like make my way throughout this, in and out of this, in a way that allows me to feel free? And then how do I communicate to other people that there's a different way of doing things? There's a different way of going about things. So yeah, very non-traditional. You could have aspects of your life, absolutely, that are traditional, but for the most part, I just feel like you guys really just like do your own thing. All right. You really follow your innermost guidance. And I don't really feel that you realize how different and unique some aspects of your life are until maybe people bring it up to you. Okay, portal, doors are opening, you decide, rewards, wild card. Next, we have breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. So yeah, I mean, this is exactly wild card. I feel like you guys are the wild card, pile number one. I feel like people don't really know what to expect from you. People know, I'm getting the sense that your authentic self is just I'm getting this sense of making it up as you go, but understanding that there's a higher template to all of it. So yeah, I feel like you guys, I'm almost getting a sense that you might seem impulsive, maybe to other people. Like when the door opens, you don't wait. You like trust your instincts, you trust your intuition. And while most people might take time to like ponder something, you're like, no, the door is here, the opportunity is here, I'm going to go for it. And I really get this sense that your authentic self just really is so in flow with the divine spark, okay? My will to thy will. So you're very surrendered. You're very, things just happen for you. And it's not even because it's like you're being rewarded and, things don't happen to us because we're being rewarded or punished. It's just like, you just understand your third eye is open. Your crown chakra is open. You understand, like, you get it. You get your soul's blueprint. You're really in tune with your lessons and what is in alignment for you and what's not. And so, of course, when you're moving with what's in alignment for you, when you're in flow, when you're flexible with those things, of course, it's like things are going to come very easily to you. Okay. And so this is probably part of the thing that you're here to teach in your own unique way through your own unique vehicle of like, those doors open, the more that you're just aligned, more those doors open, more opportunities come to you. There's a sense of just like things just happening for you. And people are like, what the hell? Like, how does this person just like own everything they do? Like how are they just so good at life? All right. And yeah, rewards. Okay. I'm seeing rewards here amplified twice with the medallion and that. So I am feeling that your authentic self, like the more that you're speaking about these things that might be a little esoteric or just like very unique or maybe even not very mainstream, like it's through you embodying that with little inhibition and not judging yourself that, the money comes to you, the opportunities come to you, the people come to you. Okay. Yeah. It's that sense of like moths to a flame. Like you just like, you can't help it even if you tried to. All right. So yeah, there's a big sense here of like the universe works through you and you're just like, you kind of feel like your authentic self, when you're really aligned with it, you have those moments more and more where you're like, I can't take credit for this shit. Like, I'm just along for this journey. So yeah, all that glitters, man, there is so much here about like divine reward and like all that glitters, I feel like is alluding not just to a material sense, but just like a spiritual sense as well. Like I feel like too, you guys don't, I'm getting that I'm hearing that phrase of in the world, but not of it. Right. And so things can come to you and leave, like things just, you recognize things are just passing through. Your authentic self has no attachment to these material things. And so I feel like because of it, you're very sharing. Your authentic self is very generous with the things that you receive, with its energy, you know, and it's not forcing it. It's not like a manipulative type of thing, but you can tell when, you know, when a dynamic supports, you know, when, again, it's the universe working through you. So it's just like God giving to God, right? God giving it to itself when it feels right to do so. But yeah, I'm getting this sense of feeling very just prosperous on every level, you know, regardless of what things might actually look like, or what if other people would be like, oh yeah, that person is, you know, living the life. It doesn't matter. You know, you guys have this type of prosperity that cannot be taken away from you. Time to go. Yeah. Always on the go. See that? I definitely was getting that. Like always on to the next thing, going towards the next door, going towards the next opportunity. I feel like you guys don't stay in something very long when you really are tuned in with your authentic self. There's this sense of like, okay, I'm going to like extract the goodness from these things, right? I'm going to extract the lesson. I'm going to take the gold from these experiences, and I'm not going to linger, right? It's like the fish can't linger, right? Waters, when they linger, when they become too still, like something that is so nourishing and life-giving becomes one of the most toxic things on our planet, right? So you guys like know when it's time to go. And this doesn't mean that it's like you don't grieve. I feel like pile number one grieves their authentic self. Yeah, is acknowledging, your authentic self is acknowledging that, yeah. Pile number one grieves and they love the connections and the experiences that they've created with people, but they also know that like there's even more. There's always more. There's always more to be had. And it's not even a sense of like, you know, the grass is always greener, but it's just like, you know, you don't want to overstay your welcome. And you know that that's not healthy for anyone. And you guys are really, pile number one, your authentic self is about the highest outcome for everyone involved, okay? Your authentic self is really concerned with the soul's lesson versus like attachment to people, attachment to things, attachment to situations, right? You're much more concerned with, okay, get in and get out. Like, what's my lesson? What's the blessing? And like, let's keep it going kind of thing. Okay. Again, and that's something that is like, that's like really learned. Okay. That's like, I shouldn't say learned, but that's something that is just one of the greatest teachers of a faith-based life, and how like lit and epic your life gets is the more that you're just like not trying to hold on for your dear life, right? It's just like opened palmed, right? When it's meant to be here, it will be here. And when it's no longer serving, when it's no longer relevant, you know, it's going to leave, and that's okay. That's what keeps you free and fun. And yeah, I feel like too, I think that's why people, when you're in this authentic self type of energy, that's when people, I don't know, like I'm getting this sense that they want to hold on to you, but they know that they can't, you know, they know that will slither through, or just like, I feel like the time people have with you, they realize is very sacred. Okay. So anything else that the guides want to bring through about pile number one's most authentic self in this lifetime? Anything else the guides want to bring through? Of course, that would fall all the way on the floor. So yeah, more of that illumination of darkness. Because you guys move so fast too, I feel like you can mistake this quick moving energy sometimes as anxiety, okay? Or, you know, things can be moving so fast, it can just be important that you're grounding, all right? Yeah, you're here undoing a lot of like familial karma and just like lack mentality, all right? So there is that sense of like, a lot of the times when we stay in things longer than we should, or when we take the road that like most people take, right? The road most traveled, it's because we're living in a lack mindset versus like an abundance mindset of anything can happen, right? Like let's do this, like, let's go, let's get this show on the road. And so your most authentic self, I feel like this is really your guides acknowledging. That doesn't mean that, you know, I'm not here to say that doesn't mean that you're not going to have these very human emotions, but you guys are helping to undo that karma. Okay. So generally the strongest souls that I come across, you know, they deeply understand the pitfalls of the human psyche, you know, to a very personal level. So not surprised. Yeah. We have more about your intuition. Not surprised that we have this coming up, you know, it's like in order to change the system, you got to know it from the inside out. So yeah, there's so much here about your connection to spirit, being very powerful and helping other people tune into their own intuition. We have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Cups, and we have the Eight of Wands. So yeah, there's a lot here. There's so much confirmation about not lingering in things longer than you should, like knowing when it's time, not waiting for the shoe to drop, not waiting for something to become so expired and stagnant that, you know, that it's like that saying of you want to leave the party on the terms that will make it so like you miss it. But when you overstay your welcome, you know, like even when you're on a vacation, it's like you're in that energy when you're like, okay, I'm tired of this. It's like, you know, it's not leaving on the best terms. But if you leave with a sense of things were not complete or something, you know, that's kind of good because you're leaving with that sense of like, wow, that was so cool. It's like leaving on better terms by not lingering, you know, leaving on good terms by not overstaying your welcome in something. You know, again, there's more here about when things start to move too rapidly and when you're not taking care of yourself. I feel like that's when anxiety can set in and you become ungrounded. And that's even when you're starting to adopt the misperceptions of the world around you, because you guys actually have a very strong connection to your guides and a very, you guys are tuned into some like higher density understandings. And this is not just like on the level of the mind, this is like the level of embodiment as well. And so it's like when you linger in certain groups or certain mindsets too long, certain auric fields too long, that can rub off on you a little bit. And it can kind of taint your intuition, you know, because other people's frameworks are so dense, right? That it just like wants to pull you down to its level. But it's really important to continue on your journey, you know, to continue on moving forward. Yeah, your authentic self sees life as a journey, not as a destination, not as somewhere to get. You're consistently like, every door you go through, it's not to you don't have the mindset of like, this is the door I'm going to stay in. It's just like, this is the door that makes the most amount of sense now. It's time to go, you know, let's see what this has to offer. And because of it, yeah, you're very self-sourced. Your authentic self is pouring into its own cup. It has so much to give. You're not needy, right? It's like, I'm getting this sense of you can appreciate company from other people and you can appreciate, you know, other people sharing cups with you, etc., but you don't need it, all right? And there is this sense of like activations consistently happening, upgrades. You're consistently glowing up, all right? Your authentic self is consistently taking you on this process of things getting better and better and better. And again, it doesn't mean that we don't have moments where we're purging a lot of darkness, because the brighter you shine, the more light you welcome in, the more darkness is exposed, okay? But overall, your experience is bright. Overall, I feel like you don't linger in these states very long, although they can be intense while you're there, all right? But your authentic self just burns through that shit so quickly because, again, it's like you learn, you know, excuse me, you've like taken the seat of being the witness and, again, watching things work through you and work for you, come to you. This is incredible. You are just a magnet, you know, and I am getting the sense that you guys are very advanced souls that have been doing this on all parts of, you know, in all dimensions and all galaxies for quite some time. And Earth is like just an adventure for you, you know? Wow, this is incredible. Thank you so much for being here, for being part of my channel. If this resonated, please leave a comment down below. Maybe put like a fish emoji down there in the comment section, or a feather, whatever resonates for you. Give this video a thumbs up. It really helps people receive these healing messages if and when they need them. And I do hope to see you on my channel again soon. Pal number 1, much love. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your reading for your most authentic self, at least within this incarnation. So, yeah, I shuffled the judgment card back in here, and we're going to get through all of these together. I haven't looked at any of your cards yet, okay? So, pal number 2, I'll just have you take a big inhale all the way into your low diaphragm. Feel your low belly expand. And when you're ready to exhale, go ahead and release. Feel your shoulders melt down your back, and feel yourself just come into your body here. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. So pal number 2, your most authentic self. We have mountain, stand your ground. We have she-wolf, unleash the wild within, the wild within. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm already so excited. So this energy is just like, man, y'all are solid. Pal number 2, your most authentic self is extremely solid in all aspects of themselves. The she-wolf is like my main archetype for like, you know, not putting on a show. And that's true confidence. Your most authentic self is very open with all aspects of themselves. And I'm not saying that, you know, you are just an open book to any and everyone, but I am hearing that, you know, when it seems relevant to talk about something that might be taboo, but you just feel organically within a certain dynamic that it could be really freeing for someone, for another person, or really freeing depending on the context of that expression, that you do so. And because you own all aspects of yourself with this moon here, because you're very aware of the intricacies of this spiritual journey, and you're very aware that our deepest fears and our deepest desires are, you know, very linked to each other. Like there's a sense of you don't take the bait of this illusion meaning something negative, right? You really own all aspects of yourself. I'm getting that there can be something like physically different about you as well, like different type of hairstyle, tattoos, something very like you guys just, when you come into a room, I'm getting the sense that your presence is felt, your presence is known. You guys really stand strong for those people that just like means something to you. You're really rooted in who you are. I'm getting the sense that some of you guys might be very active as well, like outdoorsy type of people, or just like have like good stamina is what I'm hearing, or good just like muscle tone or something. But I think that too can just be symbolic for you guys know when to take your rest and reprieve. You guys know when to go out into nature. You guys know how to release on the level of like, spiritual, physical. They are deeply linked. And so, when you're getting too ungrounded within yourself, when you're taking the bait of these illusions, okay, I need to go work out. I need to go for a walk. I need to go running or something. And so there is this sense of like a holistic kind of taking care of yourself, your most authentic self. Yeah, it gets out in nature, but really sturdy. All right. A strong foundation has been laid, not just for you, but for the other people when they're around you. It's like they just feel that sense of sturdiness. And it's like you help other people feel like everything's going to be okay as well. You help other people embrace all aspects of themselves as well. Yeah, but definitely a wild card with you, pile number 2 that I'm getting. So let's see what else. Your most authentic self. Yeah, this goes hand in hand. Like you can't be fit in a box. Pile number 2, you are not a group that is meant to be like, people can't define you. And the second they try to, it's like, I feel like even you can't even define yourself. Like the second you're like, oh, this is what I like, or this is what I do or do not do. Like you just like do it or, okay. So let me give you an example. So like sometimes like I've gone years or I've gone well over a year and a half, like not being sexually intimate. I've gone over years and like years and a half, like 1 to 2 years, not drinking ever. And I swear it's the second I'm like, I don't really drink. It's the second that I'm like, I don't really drink, that I can be sure, honestly, within like a week or so that like, I'm taking back tequila shots or something, or just like drinking wine or something. But I just noticed that pattern, that it's like spirit really, your most authentic self really wants to keep you outside of these frameworks, like spiritual materialism, just like, mainstream materialism, whatever it is. Like there's no box that you are meant to fit in. And it's and the second it's like, the second pile number 2 tries to start like labeling themselves and like putting themselves within this constraint of this is who I am, like you're meant to be extremely free, and those labels can be extremely limiting. They can be extremely debilitating and limiting. And so I feel like that's one of the reasons why spirit kind of like tries to get you to not identify too much with one thing or another. Like your core, you're strong within yourself. You're strong within your values. You're strong within your morals, right? You have strong boundaries, right? And you're developing these along the way. But it's like you're not meant to, people can't put you in a box, and you're not meant to put yourself in a box either. Your most authentic self. Yeah. Beautiful, like these shapes that are coming through too. I am seeing kind of like, what is it, like Metatron's cube or the Merkaba? Yeah, it's the Merkaba. So I feel like there is a lot here about going through like spiritual activations. That's what the Merkaba or Merkaba, whatever you want to say, kind of represents, right? It's like you have a very strong auric field. All right. Your most authentic self, I feel like, is consistently seeding new ideas, right? There's a lot here about being very sensual, very in tune with your sensuality, and very aware of your sexuality too, and not like making it like this taboo thing, right? I feel like there's a lot that is healing about you when you are in that, when you've tapped into your empowering like sexual nature. And I feel like a big part of your authentic self too helps people like understand what sexual energy really is, right? Because there's such a distorted belief system, or there's such distorted ideas we have around sexuality. And so I feel like people just tend to see that you have that strong sexual current, but I feel like you don't give it out away freely. And if you do, whatever, but I feel like you've learned how to harness that. Okay. Your most authentic self has learned how to harness their sexual energy and channel it in creative ways. And it's probably because, and this can be part of your most authentic self too. Like deep down, it's like sometimes we need that contrast. Our most authentic self will lead us down pathways to where we have contrast between what is going to be long-standing and positively beneficial for our life, and then getting to see when we're not in that, right? When we're doing the opposite. And so I feel like this creative energy, when you haven't channeled it towards in positive and freeing directions that are aligned with your authentic self, it's kind of led to more destructive behaviors, right? And there's something here too about being okay with that, right? Your most authentic self like utilizes those experiences and those versions of yourself, and that like becomes the teaching that you are able to give to other people. That's one of the reasons you're so grounded within yourself, is because you've been through a lot, you've seen a lot, all right? You've had many experiences within this incarnation of the human experience. And so I feel like that's what kind of gives you this very like lighthearted and easy to navigate, chill energy. Like people like to be around you because it's like, wow, pile number 2 is so easy to talk to. Like they're so awesome. I feel like people would even be like, wow, pile number 2 wants to hang out with me. You know, that's the type of energy I'm getting, because you're so, you know, you're so like above and beyond, but you're also so down to earth, right? You're so like heavenly and just like not from this world, not of this world. And you're so down to earth and easy to be around. So what else? We have frog and we have fire ant. So yeah, even when like it seems like a lot is weighing down on you, I feel like you guys still shine. There's something here. I am seeing a connection between these two things. So I feel like a lot of your power and a lot of your creative ideas are born from the shadow. So what I mean by that is like, you know how like we have poets like Edgar Allan Poe and beings that like, you know, really good poetry that really sinks in. It's poetry that you can tell, you can feel the frequency that the person was in. And there's like a healing sense of them being so honest and so raw with that when you read their words and you can feel what they were in and you can feel the rawness of the human emotion and human experience, there's something very healing about it. Okay, and so that's what you kind of provide to other people. And there's a lot of your creations that I feel like your authentic self is utilizing those deep moments, those dark experiences that you cannot escape from as long as you're on this planet. I don't know when we got this idea that it's possible to escape the polarity on this planet, right? That's just like very ungrounded spirituality. But there is a sense here of you guys utilizing those dark moments and sharing it with a collective, right? Sharing it with people. Like your work and what you have, your work and what you've learned, right, is like being shared with other people is what I'm seeing here in some sort of way. There's something about your energy that a lot of people are just drawn to. Okay, there is that sense of stability, that sense of just like come as you are, right? There's no need to like put on a front or anything because that's boring, you know? And I feel like you communicate to people, maybe not even with your words, but just with your actions and the way you carry yourself, that like, you know, normality is boring. And what does that even mean? You know, just like be different, be unique. Your most authentic self. We have the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. So yeah, I feel like, you know, there's a lot of that starseed type of energy coming through. The golden children within, you know, this card in particular in this deck talks about beings that have very little personal karma to break through. And so mainly they come here to shine a light for the planet. Okay, they mainly come here to take on the karma, to eat the karma of the planet, and to just kind of, you know, that's what the true sense of a bodhisattva is, right? The bodhisattvic vow is, I will continue to incarnate on the places in this planet or the places within this galaxy where there needs light, right? Where we have forgotten the dharma, where we have forgotten the spiritual seeding, the spiritual purpose behind life. And I will incarnate on those places and I will bring freedom. I will bring light. And so you guys are beacons of freedom. You're beacons of light. And the more that I feel like you guys teach in very like just by being yourself. Okay. I'm not seeing too much here yet about like a need to your authentic self needing to have some sort of platform. I think just the way that you exist, just the way that you live your life teaches a lot of people, right? The unconventions of your life and the not putting yourself in a box and doing it if it feels right and not doing it if it doesn't. You know, I am kind of seeing that Star of David, that Merkaba type of energy coming through here again with these, you know, opposing triangles. We have the cosmic heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. Yeah, you're very in tune with, the heart is open. Okay, you're here for the people. That again is reminding me of more of the bodhisattvic vow, like the suffering of the planet, you feel it. You deeply feel the suffering of the planet, and through you being able to alleviate it within yourself, again, taking on the karma, that's why I'm getting this sense that you guys are so real and so raw and so comfortable with the shadows because you deeply feel it. You deeply feel the suffering of other people, and you guys are not beings that like, I feel like if you guys saw someone on the side of the road with like, you know, a mother with their kids, like I see this in Portland, Oregon all the time, right? It's like you guys are the beings that like, man, you're thinking about their life. You're thinking about what brought them there. You're thinking about the injustice and the inequality and why does 20% of the profits and the currency of, or like the money in all of America go to just like a small number of people, that kind of thing. You're like, why is it so fucking unequal? And you're here to empower other people, and to see different ideas, to see different ways of doing things, and to start within and to break beyond the shackles of limitation that exist so deeply on this planet, okay? And that are meant to like pin us against each other, gossip, pettiness, all this bullshit, like divide and conquer type of energy. And you're like, let's fucking get together. And, I'm getting this sense of just like being an indigo warrior. So someone that's like a visionary, someone that's like, let's get together and let's just like start our own community somewhere else, like let's really do this. And I feel like you guys do have that power to get groups of people together. Like they would listen to you. Like you have a power to move the people because they can feel that you deeply care about them, right? It's not just a show. It's not just so you can gain fame or popularity. It's not any of that. It's like you really care for the people and they feel that. And so they're like, wherever Pile 2 goes, I am there. Your most authentic self, time to nap, and message in a bottle. Yeah, you guys show up as a divine messenger for people. Okay, you show up for people, like you offer rest and reprieve for people's souls, right? Like you help people like understand and feel that everything is going to be okay. Your authentic self, right? And you understand that, right? Everything that you help other people with, it's like you understand that within yourself. You're like, okay, there's nothing to front about. This is just a movie, right? This is just a play. Like, yes, well, on one hand, starving children, right? All of these very real things on the planet, you don't bury your head, but at the same time, you're like, oh yeah, it's just a play. So there's this very like in and out type of intricate dance, right? Neither here nor there in the world, but not of it, that allows you to not be so like disheartened by the density of the planet, right? And allows you to share your message. And this is kind of confirmation too that, yeah, maybe you are, because I didn't really see that, yet. I can kind of feel that, if you guys were to speak, people would listen, but I feel like maybe in some sort of way you guys are delivering messages to people, on a frequent basis, right? But this could also just talk about oracles or like the right person, the right time. And I also feel like this is you come into people's lives right when they need it, and you forever changed your life. Pile number 2, like your authentic self is just like acknowledging how much damage you do to the systems that are not here for the people, and how much you help restore power and individuality back into the lives of other people, and help them to not be ashamed because they don't fit in a certain framework of what the media would like you to fit in, because it's almost impossible for everyone to fit in that. And actually the people that even seem like they fit in, they don't even fucking fit into it, and all this Photoshop and all this bullshit and propaganda, right? It's like, you're like, no, fuck all that. Let's break free from all of this and let's create something new. And so there's a big sense here about you restore people their power, right? A sense of deep empowerment here. So what else do we need to know about Pile 2's most authentic self, please, Spirit? Pile 2's most authentic self. What does that look like within this incarnation this time around? What is their most authentic self? So first you have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. You have the Judgment coming up again. You have the Sun. Oh my goodness. You have the Magician. Now, wow. Yeah, you could go anywhere. You could do anything. I'm hearing that there's an array of ways that your gifts can show up. Yeah, for this most authentic self to come in, I feel like a lot of you guys are really like already seeing this. You're already seeing the potency behind this, behind your authentic self. Like you guys radiate, you attract what you need when you need it. There is a sense of like good, like a great Jupiter kind of placement for you guys, like abundance. All right. You guys just like scream abundance and scream prosperity. There's a lot of opportunities that get offered to you. People want to work with you. People see the potential that you have to, to make something long-term, to build an empire for yourself. Like you're destined for greatness is what your authentic self is like screaming here. And the more that you just trust, the more that you surrender, the more that you make your life this moving prayer, that you're devoted to this, letting your inner child out and playing and just like being lighthearted within it. Again, like, man, you just help people. Your authentic self is helping set this world free. Pile number 2. And I am seeing that there you play a very active role. So this is not a passive role, pile number 2. Your authentic self is not passive. There are periods of passivity, of course, but I feel like you're someone that's in the spotlight. You're someone that other people notice. You're someone, the more that you lock into this soul stream, you're someone that a lot of people know. okay? That you're well known in whatever community that you're in, right? And there's a lot of people, there's a lot of, exploring that you're doing. There's a lot of opportunities that come your way because of this energy that you're in, right? And that's going to happen more and more. I feel like you're someone that people see is going to go very far in their life. And I feel like you're someone that they're like, if I have pile number 2 in my life, like, I feel like some of their good juju and good energy is like, can't help but rub off on me. And what's really great is that, like, I feel like you don't see yourself as being above anyone. And that's what they really feel from you. They feel that you're this very equalizing force, and that you see everything that you see, that people say they see in you. I feel like you give right back to them. And you help, you put a stop to people constantly pedestaling other people. And you're like, no, this is you. Everything that you recognize in me is you, right? And so there is a sense of, like, deeply knowing who you are, your authentic self. You can feel when you're locked into your soul stream, and things just feel like they're moving, they're moving really well for you. You're a gift, right? I am getting the sense that you are a gift for other people. Like, the things that happen into your life, like, you take them and you extract the nutrients of what it's here to teach you, and you utilize it to get to know yourself better, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. You're like, what was this supposed to show me? Like, nothing keeps you down for long. You're consistently upgrading, consistently up-leveling on to the next thing, right? And I feel like your most authentic self is just living, like, this incarnation just has the potential to be so lit, okay? And just so, like, out of this world. And I am getting a sense too of, like, being your own boss, okay? Working for yourself, being able to travel a lot, I'm seeing the potential to meet a lot of other people on this journey as well. But then also, like, very practical, even though there's a lot of energy here that really supports very cosmic kind of energies, there is a very practical sense behind my pile number 2s, okay? And you're going far, all right? And just keep doing you, and you have a solid foundation. There's so much here, so much grounded energy that's coming throughout this reading, and you just radiate. Like, people feel your energy, okay? And I feel like people just, like, want to know what you're doing and who you are, and it's just, like, part of your soul's blueprint really is to do this, and to be this beacon of hope and this beacon of inspiration for other people in whatever creative way that is meant to manifest for you, right? And although it's active, I don't see yourself pushing your message onto other people. Like, literally, it's like trumpets are blowing. This is pile number 2, and people just, like, swarm, right? People just come to you because of this authenticity that you radiate. Yeah, your authentic self is, like, really about authenticity, right? Really about come as you are. And yeah, this is so inspiring. Thank you so much for being a part of my channel, pile number 2. If this resonated today, please leave, like, a frog maybe in the comment section. That'd be awesome. Or just, like, any synchronicities that came through. Also, give this video a thumbs up if it did resonate as well. It all really helps other people receive these healing messages if and when they need them. And yeah, I hope to see you on my channel again soon. Much love. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading for your most authentic self. I am very excited to be offering this to you today. Yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. I already shuffled the judgment card back in here. I haven't looked at any of your cards yet. We're gonna do this all real time together. But first, pile number 3, I'll just have you take a deep inhale into your low diaphragm. Feel your low belly expand. And when you're ready, go ahead and fully release. Feel your shoulders relax down your back as you sink into your body. All right, let's get started. So your most authentic self, pile number 3. Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. I also do remember yesterday when I was shuffling, I did see this card. I kind of lied because I was shuffling and it literally, like, flew out of my hand into like a pot, like a pot with a plant. Like, that is kind of was like 2 or 3 feet away from me. So I was like, okay, that was interesting. Okay, so you have Sun with enjoy success and happiness for your most authentic self. Yeah, so the more you become, the more, I feel like this could really sum up what it means to really be on this type of journey that we're all on together, especially if you're drawn to my channel. The more you become, the more that you just attract everything that you need, right? And the more you become, the more organic and unique it's going to look. It doesn't mean that we're all going to be living in Bali in multi-million-dollar mansions. Like, that's really not what, at least I have come to see, is like what this path is about. It's really about letting it out within you, like letting the sun shine within you. And then if it's relevant for you, it'll be drawn to you. But ultimately, your life, your most authentic self is marked by a sense of peace and contentment and fulfillment with the way things are. And I feel like things just happen for you guys, right? The more that you're locking into this, you get those divine synchronicities, you meet those right people at the right time. And it just really feels like there's not enough time in one sense, as I'm feeling from this group. Like when you're really locked into this authentic soul stream, like you feel like there's not enough time to do all the things that you want to do. And you really have unlocked this sense of, anything is possible. And this life is a joy. This life, despite the darkness that might exist on it, I feel like you guys understand, you have this very spiritual perspective with this illuminated, flower of life here. You guys just kind of understand the cyclical nature of things. And yeah, a very spiritual lens of perception that you guys are working with. And yeah, very active force as well. I'm getting some of that like magician energy with this, like great at manifesting. Like, I don't even think you try, like things just happen for you. You don't have to actively manifest, but I feel like it's the second that you're like, oh, that would be cool if, like, it ends up happening, or the person ends up calling you, or, it's just like, yeah, I feel like, you guys came in with a lot of protection within this incarnation. And I feel like maybe part of that is because you really are here to seed the light on the planet. At this time, again, with this like seed, the seed of life that I'm seeing, repetitive, right? Within the flower of life, you guys came to seed the light on the planet, and this was more of a selfless kind of incarnation that you took. All right. So yeah, your most authentic self acknowledges all the experiences that you had to go through, right? It's like seeding the light within the darkness of humanity too. So I'm never here to paint the picture that it's all rainbows and butterflies, but the more that the authentic self awakens within, the more that we're just like so at peace and content with those experiences, those things that happen to us. Okay, so next we have the shaman, helping draw people's soul, like fragmented parts of themselves. So traumatic events, right? You're here, you understand, again, there was that sense of seeding light within darkness. That's this shamanic energy. So helping people in a whatever creative way feels authentic to you, your authentic self is here to help people reclaim parts of themselves that they have dissociated from, right? Through traumatic experiences. And in big and small ways, we do this whenever we reject a part of ourselves that we learned growing up was not okay, or, was like unacceptable or whatever, right? So you help understand, you bring illumination to why we do things, right? Why suffering happens, and you want to understand your suffering. Your authentic self understands the suffering, and it helps other people to put that in context of the soul's blueprint, and helping other people understand, okay, what was the soul's lesson here? What were you supposed to gain from this, right? So again, there is a sense of doing the real type of work that helps set people free. And it's not by painting this picture that the human experience is, it's all supposed to be all rainbows and butterflies. But again, it's like you help put everything in its context. So even when those heavy moments come, people understand, oh, okay, yeah, this is just like what I'm working through. This is just like what my lessons are, And so those moments of suffering, I feel like the more that your authentic self shines, and the more that you're not trying to push away any part of your experience, the lighter they actually become simultaneously. It's because like we don't need those kind of tough love types of lessons when we're actually integrating, the lessons, right? Which a big part of it on earth at this time is not denying the polarity, not pushing away the shadow in order to experience more of the light. That's not how it works. Okay, so the stone. Yeah, your authentic self recognizes, the small things in life. So the stone is like when you throw like a pebble on a still lake and you see the ripple effects. So you don't take for granted the small things in life is what I'm hearing. Your authentic self is like going on walks and, like seeing ladybugs, or, watching kids laugh and play. Like your authentic self really gets the most joy from the small things in life is what I'm hearing. Doesn't mean cool and big things don't happen to you, but there's such a sense of peace that your authentic self feels, and that you feel your avatar for this lifetime feels when you are locked in with your timeline. So even when you're going through heavy purges or whatever, I am hearing that your authentic self is able to still like see the goodness behind it and still be like, oh wow, like this is here today, and next week I'm going to be on to some other bullshit or something, there's like this lightheartedness, and there's just like this contentment around the ghetto-ness of humanity. With peace and love, earth is ghetto, okay? Earth is so ghetto. But it's like, there's like a comfort that you get, that we're all kind of in our own way going through similar experiences, and there's like this nothing to prove, That's like where true magic is born, is like, I ain't got nothing to prove, And so because of it, I feel like people just are there for you. Other people in situations, it's like, the ego is not blocking, right? The empowered ego in one sense is like opening making a portal for these things to come through. And the negative ego is kind of put in its place when it's like, all right, I don't have anything to prove. And we're all just like 50 shades of fucked up, and we're all just doing the best. And none of us are leaving this planet unscathed, and we're all going out the same way we came in, kind of thing. And so there is an acknowledgement here of the small things in life and the small ways that we're perceiving our reality and how over time those add up, and the small ways that we're either believing an illusion, which dims our magic, or, we're reaffirming truth and illumination, which adds to our magic and adds to the potency of our creations and the work that we're here to do on the planet at this time. So your most authentic self, pile number 3. Wow. Yeah. You guys are, there's so much fire here, okay? And the sun also reminds me of Leo energy. So there's a lot of feline type of empowered feminine energy that is coming through this pile, okay? Very psychic, very tuned in. Again, there was a sense with the sun and the moon being illuminated by these 2 feline cards that there's a sense of just power that comes with you. Like no matter when you're going through some heavy periods or when you are an illuminated, when you are active and you are feeling social and you are feeling just on your game, I feel like you have the same sense of power even within the moments where you're not, where it's just you need a break from life and you're kind of dragging your ass, when you're having very human experiences. I feel like there's such a neutralizing sense that I'm getting about you guys that other people pick up on as well. Your authentic self neutralizes and kind of equalizes all of the experiences that we have, and just seeing it from the soul's perspective. There's a lot here, soul and the sun in Spanish is sol. Okay. And I don't think it's an accident that it's sol. And it also sounds like soul, the English word for soul, which is our spirit. I feel like there's a reason for all of that, because the soul is illumination, right? And the sol, the sun, illuminates darkness. And so I feel like in all the ways, that's been a consistent theme throughout all of this. You guys are the illuminators on this planet. You guys are activators. You activate other people's spiritual essence within them. You help activate other light workers, lions that thought they were a sheep, lions that also fell asleep, or that have fallen asleep, or that haven't woken up yet, to their magic and to their purpose. Okay. Next, we have the fox. So you guys are very witty. Your authentic self doesn't take it too seriously. People start giving you some bullshit, joking around with you, and you're able to give it back, okay? You're very quick on your toes, quick on your feet. I'm getting the sense of your authentic self, like there's something so intimidating about both sets of these eyes. You know what I mean? You don't mess around, even this. There's a sense of seriousness behind you, even though I feel like there is a lightness to you. I am getting the sense that people, maybe when they see you at first, they just get this I feel like people could just be surprised when they get to know more of your authentic self, because on the surface that you just have so much power. Pile 3, you have so much power. Okay, your Shakti is so activated, all right? The Kundalini energy is flowing and going, all right? And so I feel like people can almost be okay, does this person mean business? What's up with this person? And they get to know you, and obviously they see all the intricacies of all the different types of people that are going to be drawn to this pile number 3. Okay. But, for the most part, I feel like across the board, it's safe to say that you might have RBF or something, right? And I feel like in a way, that's the energy that your authentic self emits for a reason, because it keeps out the bullshit. It keeps out the people, the people that are cunning, not in a good way, that are manipulative. It keeps out, the narcissists and the people that want to leech off your energy, right? So I am getting the sense that you are very warm, but also you have firm boundaries, and, your authentic self is not afraid to set those, because again, you're coming with such a spiritual lens. You're okay, I'm a blessing and a lesson, I know there's this quote from a Lil Wayne song. It's oh God, I think it's in Drop the World. He goes, this is on both my workout, when I'm doing strength training, and then also when I'm running, Drop the World. It's such a great song, but it's they say they learn from mistakes, and that's why they mistake me. Okay. That's kind of the energy I'm getting from this. The people that mistake you and mistake your power and just take you for granted, and that, are just not in tune enough with their own energy and how things work to see the type of shit that you bring to the table. I feel like when people mistake you, like they're learning a lot. Like you are a huge lesson for people that, you know, aren't coming correct, you know, and I don't say this in a way to kind of like puff you guys up, but I just see that this is naturally like you're here for the real deal. You are the real deal. And so you're not playing petty ass games. You're not wasting away your incarnation gossiping. You're not wasting away your incarnation like trying to look like the Kardashians or like, you know, caring about the superficial bullshit that keeps us tethered to karma. You're like, I'm here to set people free. I'm here to unlock my magic, to unleash my magic, and to make something of this life that is worth leaving behind. I'm here for my legacy, right? And so that's what people get from you. And so if people aren't matching that type of energy, then you're like, get gone, you know, like bye. But one of the reasons you can do that with love in your heart, pile number 3, is because you know it's nothing personal, and you're like, okay, it's just the energy is not there. So, you know, it's nothing personal from this level, but I have to honor what I'm here for. Okay. There's a sense of no nonsense with you guys. Star family, you're part of a team of souls. Call in support. Yeah. A lot of people recognize themselves in you. A lot of people find themselves in you. I wouldn't be surprised if people were like, you feel like, if you have a lot of people saying you're my twin flame or you're my soulmate, or, you know, there's an instant soul recognition many people get around you. And if you guys are in some way in the public eye, which I wouldn't be surprised with this card here in particular, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people, a lot of soul family, you know, fragments of a similar soul cluster reach out to you and have that same thing. That's what star family and soul family is here to do. We're here to support each other. We're all going through this together. We're kind of anchoring a similar frequency onto the planet, you know, at all different points of the planet. So I feel like there are people that, like, you know, you have many moments of that. Your authentic self is acknowledging the amount of people that even have that towards you that don't say that to you. But there are a lot of people, if they're not already saying it to you, that will, the more that you step into your soul's blueprint and align more with this authentic self. Okay. Next, we have karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflicts. Yeah, so there was that sense again of relationships coming up and just like kind of having, you know, kind of being a rude awakening for other people, but it's not because you're rude, but it's just because you don't stick around for petty bullshit. But I am hearing that, yeah, you don't run away from a lesson, right? You don't run away from lessons, but I think more than anything, your authentic self is just acknowledging that you tend to be a lesson for people, especially in romance, you know, because you tend to be a lot operating from a lot, just different frequencies. Okay. There's not a hierarchy, but I'm just getting higher densities. Okay. So when you're around a being that has higher, you know, is operating from more of that, you know, fourth density consciousness, which is treat others how you want to be treated, you know, the Christ consciousness, and recognizing the unity. So the treating others how you want to be treated is kind of like natural. It's not something that we're just manipulating ourselves to do. It's not being phony holy, but it's like naturally you're just like, I want everyone to win. I recognize the soul behind you and I want the best for your soul. I recognize my own soul. I want the best for my soul. Okay. And so that's kind of what I'm getting. It's like, there's a sense of freedom that you emanate, but there's a sense of possession that I think other people can want to get with you, especially those people that are still operating within those like third density types of awareness and consciousness. They want to possess you. They want to possess your energy. And wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you too are just like really good looking. I was trying to avoid that, you know, just because our authentic self doesn't have anything to do with how we look, but it can. Like for me, the more I energetically aligned with my blueprint and the more I become myself internally first, like my external changes so much. And so that's kind of the thing too. It's like the more that you glow up internally, the more that the external glow, like people are like, oh, you are looking so tasty, like scrumdiddlyumptious. But yeah, I feel like, you know, this is also saying that your life, you know, just because you might still be experiencing polarity and just like trouble in relationships, not even trouble, but you know, conflict, that's normal, all right? It's not acknowledging, it's not saying that, you know, just because you're on this path, you're not going to experience that. But I do feel like you activate a lot of people, especially romantic partners, and in your personal relationships, there's a lot of soul growth that happens in the people that are like personally know you, and you don't even realize how much people grow from just being in your association. We have to the sea. And we have peace for your most authentic self. So yeah, you guys might feel very nourished when you go to the beach. When you're around water, you come back to yourself. Your authentic self is acknowledging that when you tend to get too caught up in the human drama, that going to the sea, going to water, going in nature. But there is something especially about water here that really sets you free. You know, those negative ions really help to extinguish it really helps to extinguish any like EMF or any just like subtle ways that like psychic debris and subtle ways that there can be negative psychic buildup in our field. Okay, so what else is coming through here? But ultimately, yeah, your authentic self is just so peaceful, man, with the sun and the peace card. Like you leave a wake of peace everywhere you go. People feel peaceful being around you. Okay, that's something I'm really hearing. Like people feel like everything's going to be okay when they're around you. Yeah, you draw in a community, right? You draw in a lot of people around you. You're meant for success. Your authentic self is, I feel like the more you align with your authentic self, the more people pay attention, the more people like applaud you, the more like support you start to see that you have from other people. And yeah, there is something here about like a community on the level of like your environment, okay? Building community. But yeah, this peace card is so beautiful, man, because like to me, like the dove, right? What I have here, the dove represents for me freedom and peace. Okay, and that's what your authentic self brings into the lives of others. And that's what your authentic self is about, freedom and peace. So if it's not bringing me closer to peace, if it's not bringing me closer to freedom, I don't want anything to do with it. That includes people, situations. I don't care how fine you are. I don't care how cool you think you are. If it's not bringing me peace, if it's not bringing me freedom, I don't want anything to do with it. That doesn't mean we're burying our head in the sand and not being responsible for our life. But again, it's saying, because that's not freedom, right? Freedom is it doesn't run away from things, but freedom is addressing what feels right to address. And if it's like, okay, if it's very clear, this is not part of my soul growth and this is inhibiting my soul growth, which again, sometimes growth means addressing those things that are hard to address, looking at those things within ourselves that are hard to look at, right? Not speaking of that, but if it's bringing bullshit, bye, peace. Like literally peace. I don't need you. 3 of Cups. Yeah, there's a lot here about celebrating with other people. Your authentic self likes to have fun. Okay, so you're going out, you're having fun, you're meeting people, you're networking. Yeah, you're collaborating with other people, with other creatives. We have the Emperor. Yeah, you're so fierce. You are so fierce. Pile number 3. We have the 5 of Cups here. Let's get one more. And we have Justice. Yeah, so I feel like with the Emperor and the Justice card especially, it's like there is a sense of like looking out for other people that maybe I'm not getting this sense, like even though you could easily be a group where you like are like, I'm all that in a bag of everything else on the side, like you don't, okay? And I feel like you really do see things, you really do see the positive side of things despite how much hurt you've been through. Like I'm just getting the sense that you have some codes in your blueprint, like especially maybe early in incarnation, like you've been let down is kind of what I'm getting at. You've been let down by life, but you have not allowed that to make you a hard person. You have not allowed that to callous your heart. And I'm hearing that when you're around other people, you glow, and it's really important for you to network and, to have your time to the sea when you're taking time to like find your inner stillness. But I feel like people knowing you in person especially is like really fucking magical. All right. And that's when people are like, oh my God, there's a person like this. Like there's people like this. Like I'm just getting the sense that you just inspire hope in humanity, and you make people feel like they are a part of something special when they're in your presence, when they're, in the same room as you, when they're talking to you about ideas and where to go, right? You make people feel like, oh my God, the future is so bright. And because it is, and you help redirect people's focus from like, okay, if you're grieving something, grieve it. You're like, there's nothing to prove, like grieve it. But then also always keep in heart that there's always something better. Okay. And once the lesson's extracted, your gaze is naturally going to turn to those other 2 cups, or to, to the next thing that you're supposed to do. But I'm seeing your authentic self as a leader. Okay. If you're not overseeing some sort of community, you could, but a lot of people look up to you. And I feel like you're a very just person. You're a very equalizing force to be around. You don't put yourself on a pedestal. Other people might, but you don't, and I feel like if you get the sense that they do, you equalize it and you kind of show them in some sort of way with like sharing a story. You just really show people like, hey, we're all on the same playing field. And there's not like, I just want to sit in this energy. There's like not enough good things I could say about this group, but ultimately your authentic self is bomb.com, powerful, fierce, fun, about their business, about their bag, about their purpose, right? Very purpose-driven group, and you help other people discover the same within their own selves and their own lifetime. So thank you so much for being part of this. If you pulled pile number 3 today, maybe leave a tiger emoji or sun emoji down in the comment section if you don't have anything else that you want to share with your soul family. And yeah, give this video a like too. Just both of those things really help these healing messages reach the people that they need to, when and if they need to, right? And I do hope to see you on my channel again soon. Much love, pile number 3. Hi, group number 4. Welcome to your reading for your most authentic self. These have been so fun. I'm so excited to get into this with you guys. I've already shuffled the judgment card back into this deck. This is what we'll be using later on in the reading. And I haven't looked at any of your oracle cards yet. We're going to do this all together real time, okay? So before we get started, pile number 4, I'll just have you take a deep breath all the way into your low diaphragm. Feel your low belly expand. And when you're ready, go ahead and exhale, release, let your shoulders fall down your back as you sink into the presence of your body. Yeah, and let's get into it. So your most authentic self, pile number 4, stag, trust and thrive. These have been starting off so powerful, okay? The people that are just like part of this community, y'all are so incredible, okay? So medicine mother, we have honor your inner knowing. Yeah, your most authentic self, the more that you just trust your intuition and trust, you just like fuck off what everyone else is telling you to do. The more that you just do you, pile number 4, the more that just like things just work out for you. And it's interesting too, because I am getting this sense of like people, like I feel like people almost like when you're like, people are like, you should do this and then you don't, they take it kind of personally, and they almost like want it to not work out for you, but it ends up like working out so great for you. And I think it can leave people feeling better or like bitter, but that has more to say about them. And this is not in any way to like instill fear into you, because as long as you just keep doing you, those low frequencies aren't going to touch you anyways. You don't need protection spells. You don't need any of that bullshit. Keep doing you. And that's all the protection you need. Okay. Your own authentic soul stream. So yeah, the more that you do you, the more that great things come to you, and you have a way of seeing the world that is it's very real, okay? It really honors just your natural paradigm, all right? So what might be real and what might work for you and your paradigms might not work for other people, right? Just the way you see things, how you carry yourself, how you go about your day to day, right? So like this is, for example, it's like people who really don't believe in the placebo or the nocebo effect, for example, that try to implement it because it hasn't actually, like, they don't actually believe it, right? On one level, it's like they're trying to convince themselves, versus someone that does, that has seen time and time again that, yes, when I write words on my water bottle, beautiful, powerful, and then I drink that water, that I do feel that, that kind of thing. I'm seeing that it works for you. Those things that might not work for everyone else because they're not actually in that paradigm yet. They haven't actually grown their faith muscle to the extent that you have. So things work different for you, not because you're more special or anything. It's just you've strengthened your spiritual muscle more than many other people, or more than people, or certain people, I shouldn't say many other people, but maybe just the people that would like to see you, things not work out for you, because there is a sense of confidence that you have in your path and yourself that other people might be envious of. They lack, the kiss, your most authentic self. Yeah. Okay. This could be symbolic. This is okay. I always like to say that these romantic types of cards are also symbolic. But I also not want to leave out the fact that I feel like your authentic self just radiates a lot of people that would like to be a lover to you, would like to have you in their life long term, if anything. That people that you seem like, I'm getting, gosh, they even their features, their chins kind of look the same. There's something striking about your appearance, okay, that just turns people on, okay? We're all adults here, right? Okay, I hope so. If you're not, whatever, skip past this, right? We're all humans, we're all mammals, but yeah, I feel like you just are very attractive to people. And it's not even you. People think it's while I wouldn't deny that you guys have very beautiful physical features, that people are very just like, wow, that person is so beautiful. Pile number 4 is so handsome. Like pile number 4, hit me up. You know, that kind of thing. It's more of your energy. It's more of like when you are aligned with your authentic self, that is what actually draws more people to you. And it might even happen to you on days that you think you look toe up, you know, like it might happen on the days where you're just like really didn't try to put yourself together, but it's because there's such an inner wellspring and just like an inner nourishment that radiates from you that draws people to you. And, you know, sex is really distorted on our planet. Romance is very distorted on our planet, at this time, at least. And so whereas people are just coming to you and I feel like drawn to you because you have certain codes that they could learn from, they think they need to act on it sexually, you know, because that's just like what we've learned as a species versus like, oh, I'm attracted to this person. Maybe it doesn't mean every time I'm attracted, it has to be sexual or it has to be romantic, you know, but I feel like a lot of people can taint good things because that's just what our conditioning is or what the vast majority of people's conditioning is. But you see that, right? You recognize that. And so it doesn't, I feel like even if people come on strong in that sense, you let them down softly. Bless your heart, file number 4. But yeah, the unseen. So this talks about spirit guides, right? And the fact that we have so much about like inner knowingness, your authentic self is very connected to things unseen, to the realms unseen. Your authentic self is you're like a natural channel, a natural beacon for spiritual energies onto the planet, right? You're like a transmuter. So you like ground. It's almost like, you know, like crystals. I'm seeing a crystal. I'm seeing clear quartz. Why am I seeing clear quartz? Because, oh yeah, okay, I'm seeing clear quartz because they are transmuters of energy and they conduct energy too. So did you know, actually, fun fact, that the main ingredient or the main like substance in clear quartz crystal is actually what they use in like electronics, like LED screens and like, you know, those little like, you know, little green things that like store information or whatever. In most technology, there's that same substance. I forget what it's called. I can't remember it right now, but what is it? If I linger on it too long, I'm going to pull myself out of a channeling state. So I'm not going to linger on it too long. Maybe it'll come up. But there is one substance in clear quartz crystals that is also found in all of our electronics, and it's here to store information. It grounds information. It helps like transmit information and transmit energy in general. And so that's kind of what I'm getting for you guys. You guys are here to like ground information, higher codes, higher knowingness, higher density understandings onto this planet. Okay. You have a very clear connection to your higher self. And the more that you trust that, the more that you thrive. Okay. The more that really great things happen for you. So your most authentic self, pile number 4, not surprised. We have a spirit card coming up. So there's so much more. Do you see how we have 2 of these eyes? Okay. So your third eye is very, very active, very open. All right. You guys see things before they happen. There's something across the board about your eyes in general. Like you read into people's souls. I'm hearing something about the Akashic record, being able to read into Akashic records or being able to read energy, being able to see auric fields. There's something here about being able to feel into the codes and the timelines of other people. You guys could also be psychics, or beings that like work with energy, like mystics. So people that are able to like, to intuit and to digest and to assimilate and to help people understand their soul's blueprint. There's so many different methods and ways. Tarot is one of them. Astrology is one of them. You know, there's different things like, you know, just based off your name, right? The way that your name comes out of your mouth carries certain codes too. So there's so many different ways we have to get deeper looks into our soul's blueprint, life path numbers, all of that. Okay. So I feel like that this is really just saying that your authentic self is helping people awaken to themselves. It's helping open people's eyes to their own life purpose, to what they're here to bring to the planet, to their own gifts, to their own greatness. And there is a sense here too about having a thick skin. Okay. You have a thick skin. You don't take things too personally. If you do at first, like it just runs, you like assimilate, you see like, okay, why you might have taken that personally. And you can see the link between taking something too seriously, too personally, and like, okay, like what happened, that one thing that happened in childhood or something. So you're consistently up leveling, shedding skins, but there's a lot here about seeing beyond the surface of things. Like you could be in a room with someone, like people don't have to talk to you for you to get to know them. Like their energy speaks so loudly to you. All right. So there's a lot here. You learn more about life and you learn more about people through what's unsaid, right? What's unseen, what's not as tangible to the physical senses. So yeah, look, we have so much illumination of the third eye coming up here. Your authentic self is very unique. right? People can't pinpoint you. People like can't put you in a box. I feel like this is really saying too, like this is the card of visionary. Like both of these together are cards of visionary, of being a visionary. So, like your authentic self is less concerned. Like while you are going to have everything you want met, you are very concerned with the well-being of humanity, with the well-being of the people on the planet in general. Like you're not just concerned about your own self, getting your own bag, making your own, your own path. You're really here to help illuminate the path for other people, the internal path. Okay. It's like that phrase of, teaching people how to fish versus like giving them the fish. Okay. That's what a big part of what you're here to do, because you have such a strong intuition. Pile number 4, you are so connected. Okay. And I feel like that is a big purpose that you have here, is to also help clear people's third eye. Okay, you guys might even teach about that, of like decalcification of the pineal gland, and like you guys could even have like the third eye, like the all-seeing eye tattooed somewhere, like the Eye of Horus tattooed somewhere, or you could know all about everything that I just said. There's a lot here about understanding like the mystical, the subtle body, deep awareness of the subtle body and like the chakra system, and bringing that back into balance. You guys could be even energy workers. Your most authentic self is so like, you guys have such an intuitive understanding of the subtle body in the auric field and restoring these things that naturally what you would be really good at is working in those fields, because you're tapping into like old, like past lifetimes, parallel lifetimes. And you have like the guides that you're working with are helping you come at this from a very unique standpoint. So one that maybe like, even if you're utilizing other people's tools that have already been laid on this planet, there's something very unique and different you're here to bring into these fields. Okay. You have access to a very unique way of restoring people's subtle body that hasn't been done before. All right. Each in your own unique way. And it's really important that the more that you trust that, the better you're going to get at it. And you're actually helping people. Like I'm seeing that you can actually like do miraculous types of stuff, miraculous types of things, right? Like Jesus types of healings, right? The more that you trust, the more that you like don't question it, and the less that you're like, kind of letting the vibration of the rest of the world rub off on you. So your most authentic self, the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. Hell yeah. I mean, I feel like all of these have to do with like spiritual awakenings. Okay. So your authentic self, I feel like this is saying you're consistently going through activations through your own spiritual team, your own spiritual guides. Sometimes these activations can be messy for you. Sometimes it can be like creating tower moments, burning bridges kind of thing. Sometimes it can like really make you very anxious, to be around other people. It increases your sensitivity every time you go through an activation. So the anxiety gets really heavy at first, and then it seems to subside, but your guides are telling me right now that it doesn't subside. You just acclimate to your new, your new ability to feel into the fields of other people. You just have acclimated to that new expanded level that you're operating at. Cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. So yeah, I feel like, a big part of your work in what your authentic self is here to do on the planet at this time is you are here to help heal the broken. Okay. And you are here to help people lean into those aspects of their life that are trying to break them open, because you recognize and you help people to understand that there is something here, right? It's like you help people see and understand that everything is not as it seems, and that there is something, like there is always a gem of wisdom, or there is gold within these experiences that kind of like break our hearts open, and that they're meant to tenderize our hearts. It brings us into a state of greater trust in life. And it's interesting because these moments can maybe sometimes make people not want to trust life as much when like something shitty ends up happening or something ends up falling apart. But you know what's really happening? You help people understand. Your authentic self understands that, these things aren't ever as a punishment, but a lot of the times there's like old wounds. Like if we're triggered by something, that means there's something within us that is able to be triggered. So that means there's something around us that we have a misperception about. We're not seeing something clearly. Okay. And so all of these things that seem like they don't go your way, more and more, you are able to extract the nutrients from it a lot quicker. And so you don't linger in bouts of depression long. Like the more that you are on this path, and the more that you're assimilating your light, and the more that you're like in tune with these things, I'm seeing that the less that you linger in these areas, right? And I'm not surprised. Like, that is one of the reasons why you are such like an ideal partner, and just like a life companion too, is what that can be symbolic for, is because people just learn so much about life through you, and so much about the spiritual journey through your authentic connection and your very unique awareness around these things. Okay. And so, yeah, there's so much of an alchemization happening when people are in your presence. And you know what alchemy is? It's when two things that don't seem to go together, like you see, they come together and it makes something perfect, right? Or where you're taking one substance, you're taking silver and you're creating it into gold. And how does that happen? Through heat, right? That happens through that purification process. And so you help people to not run away from the heat, right? Your authentic self understands that it's through that deep purification, where it feels like all of the cells in your body are burning, where it feels like your spiritual body is burning. You've learned to not run away from that, because you're like, this is where I'm made. This is how I become an even freer version of myself. This is where the thick skin is developed, and this is where the spiritual body is made stronger. Because every time you come out from one of those cycles, you're even better. You're seeing even more clearly. All right, you're not taking the bait of illusion as you once did, right? Things roll off of you. You can have moments of grieving still, yeah, but I feel like it's so easy. Like, it's not easy for you to get so deeply lost in things anymore. Like when the relationship ends, when something bad seems to happen in your life, you're like, okay, so what? Like this today, then what next tomorrow or next week? It's like things roll through you and off of you very easily. And the things that might choke a lot of people up, like, don't choke you up, because you just like have such an expanded level of awareness. Like sixth through seventh density, or 6th through 9th density understanding is what I'm getting here. Unfinished symphony for your most authentic self, and deep knowing. Oh my God, we have inner knowing, we have deep knowing, we have so much here. I don't know, like, if Spirit could have given us any more cards that talk about how powerful of a connection that you have to your divine self, okay? So your most authentic self does not question itself, okay? Do not question yourself. If anything, I feel like your guides are really just brought you here today to be like, Pile 4, you are tuned in. And the more that you trust yourself, the more that you're going to see that you are someone you can trust. Like, you are the type of people that you might even have people, yeah, of course, teachers and, people part of your soul group that reawaken the spark in you and that feel like home. But ultimately, you guys are here to pave a new way of understanding the spiritual journey on the planet. Okay, you guys have an authentic connection to wisdom that is very refreshing, okay? And this is also telling me that everything, your gifts and your authentic expression within this lifetime is a continuation from other lifetimes. And this lifetime is one that you've been preparing for, okay? Because whatever it is that you're currently doing, or whatever it is that you're going to be doing, is going to have a deep impact on the planetary field of consciousness and their levels of awareness, right? You are here for the awakening of the planet. You are the blue flame. All right, so what else do we need to know about Pile 4's most authentic self, please? Most authentic self for pile number 4. Yeah, you guys are the activators of the planet. So people coming into your field, they can't help but like see more, activate. Yep, that's literally an activation. And I feel like there's like, because your Shakti is so powerful that people might misinterpret that energy that they feel from you, that Kundalini energy that's very active within you. They might mistake it as lust, okay? And I shouldn't say mistake it as lust, like they're feeling what they're feeling, but they just might interpret they might misinterpret what's happening, okay? It's like, you're activating people. Your Shakti and your Kundalini is going. So it's like, when you get around other people, it's going to happen. Like, your field interacts with other people's fields. Your field, your auric field, is so powerful, it cannot help but activate the auric fields of other people when they're around you, okay? 3 of Cups, yeah, your most authentic self is going out. It's meeting people in person, okay? Celebrating, having fun. Yeah, it's like there's so much wisdom behind you, but you know how to have a good time, all right? Which I think is the most wise beings that we have on this planet. Ace of Swords, so much freaking clarity, man. Are you kidding me? Yeah, you receive a lot of divine inspiration. I'm hearing that you guys are clairaudient as well as extremely clairvoyant. Is very, very obvious, but you hear your guides as well, okay? You have a strong internal fire, a very strong internal compass. Yeah, things move fast for you, man. You guys are very fiery. Things happen quickly for you. You get a ton of downloads, a ton of yeah, you guys receive a lot of messages that it could be useful. Your authentic self is saying that, you know, let's write these things down. Let's put these things out. Let's make sure that we're sharing these things with other people, because that actually helps. Like, it's that phrase, seeking ends when sharing begins. So if you're not already doing this, like, I don't think I made that transition into really feeling like I was a teacher and really feeling like I could trust myself until I was sharing what was already coming through, right? And I didn't even realize like how the level I was sharing from was like quite beyond what I think I even assumed. Like, I don't know, it was just normal to me. And so your authentic self is saying you're going to have a lot of those surprises where what's normal to you is fucking mind-blowing for other people. Okay, and it's part of your gift. It's part of what you're here for. Wow. Oh my God. Are you serious? So, wow. We have the Ace of Wands, the Three of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Chariot, Strength, and the Hanged Man. Yeah, there's a very hands-off approach. Like, Spirit is clearly like using you as a vessel. Like, I don't know how else to say this, but it's like literally the being, there's you there, like your soul is here. I don't even know how to freaking say this. It's like Spirit is just effortlessly moving through you. Your authentic self is acknowledging that like things can get done for you. And that the more and more that you just release and let go and get out of your own way and get out of your own, you know, these ways that we doubt ourselves that kind of clench our own flow of Spirit coming through, like the more that like it's being done for you, and the more that you are the witness, and the more incredible and insanely incredible these things are going to get. But I'm getting there's so much fire that comes through this entire reading. Okay. So you are one that you digest the hard experiences in life. That's one of the reasons why you have so much strength behind you, is because it's not because it's always been good for you, but you know, the strongest lights are born in the greatest darkness. Okay. And so there's a lot here about expressing that, and a lot here about, just like voicing your opinion and not falling prey to this like imposter syndrome energy that might float around you. Because I am getting the sense that like, yeah, I mean, you are a true leader in the sense that people don't even realize they're being led or influenced by you, but you really are, you know, like you are able to see things in a way that brings so much truth. You communicate truth, you breathe truth into people's lives, which helps set people free. And I think things move really fast for you when you're tuning into your authentic soul stream. Like, it's like always on to the next thing. And there's this sense of like undeniable perseverance and this undeniable sense of power, just like with whatever you do, wherever you're going, like people feel your passion. You have such like your inner agony, like that inner fire is so strong. There's so much here about Shakti, okay? And just like wielding a hell of a lot of power. I don't even know if you recognize it, but you just like burn up karma. You just eat up karma. You help other people like break karmic cycles once and for all. You know, and a big part of breaking that is having the awareness around it. You're not judging it, right? And because of it, like that's actually what ends up burning through it so quickly. So there is so much here that I can continue to go on about, but I am going to leave this here for now. Pile number 4, for your most authentic self. Like, y'all are fucking shit up in the best way. Okay. Yeah, this is incredible. So if this did resonate for you today, leave me one of those, like the eyeball in the comment section. Okay. If this was the pile that you chose, pile number 4, if you chose pile number 4, leave the eyeball in the comment section. Please, like this video. It does help my channel and these healing readings reach the people when they need to, if they need to. And I do hope I see you on my channel again soon. Much love.